enemies don't look friendly. Be prepared to defend yourself.
You there! You're the one they call Dragonborn? Your lies fall on deaf ears, deceiver. The true Dragonborn comes. You are but his shadow. When Lord Mirak appears, all shall bear witness. None shall stand to oppose him. Never seen him come here.
Take care with those slaves. Need supplies? Right. See Bellathor at his store. Sleazy little man, but he has good stock.
Search their bodies.
Destruction magic's fine. Just don't go burning
See if
down.
we can make sense out of this. Ooh, they had a note on them.
Is that fur?
Well, one of them did.
Coming out of your ears?
Read it. So, they originated from Solstheim. Let's head to Windhelm. Let's get some passage over to that island. Yeah, Black Tech Springer. Figure that much out. That needs to pay. Talk to that bloke. He looks like the captain.
If you're looking for passage to Solstheim, too bad. I'm not going back there anymore. Surprised you've never heard of it. It's an island northeast of here. There's a small dark elf town called Raven Rock, and a handful of Nords living in Skal Village. But I'm not going back there. There's something wrong about that place. It's hard to explain. I remember those people with the masks coming on board. Then, the next thing I remember, I was here, and they were gone. And that's not right, losing whole days like that. There's been something strange going on there for a while. But after this, I'm done. I'm not going back to Solstheim. Have you been listening to me? I'm not going back there. Right, you have a point. Taking you back to find out who sent them is the least I can do. Besides, maybe you can put a stop to whatever's going on over there. I owe them a bit of payback myself. Well, here we are. This is Raven Rock. Can't say I'm all that glad to see it again. Good luck. Maybe you can figure out what's going on around here.
I don't recognize you. So I'll assume this is your first visit to Raven Rock, Outlander. State your intentions. Mirak, I'm not sure that I do. Just remember, Raven Rock is sovereign territory of House Redoran. This is Morrowind, not Skyrim. While you're here, you will be expected to abide by our laws. Any questions? I have to be. As second counselor, the security of Raven Rock is my primary concern. This isn't exactly the city of Blacklight. We're on the frontier out here. We've had more than a fair share of troubles. After all we've been through together, I refuse to let Councillor Morvain down. Councillor Morvain is House Rederin's representative on Solstein. As second councillor, it's my job to support him and make certain his rule is enforced. Your ignorance of our homeland doesn't surprise me. It's the capital of Morrowind. Been that way ever since Mournhold was sacked by the Argonians. I don't visit there often anymore, but we still get the occasional supply ship and visitors from there. Quite a while ago, yes. They cut a bloody swath across most of the southern region of Morrowind. Nobody seems certain why it happened. Attempted expansion, revenge for the enslavement of their people, or perhaps both. Whatever the case may be, thousands of Dunmen needlessly lost their lives. Many more were exiled from their homeland. I'm unsure. I swear I know the name, but I cannot place it. I don't think so. I'm not... The name has something to do with the Earthstone, I think, but I'm not sure what. Ravenrock started out as an Imperial settlement. But the Empire decided to abandon it, just as my people were first setting foot here. They left the town a shambles, but when House Redoran took over, we turned it around and it became ours. And even if it's been a struggle to make this island livable, we're proud to call it home. Remember, we're watching you. Giollan.
Northern Maiden is ship-shape and ready to go.
We were delayed by bad weather. Before you even asked, yes, we have the supplies you requested. But what? This load cost me double what we'd agreed on. Nothing I can do about it.
Damn it, Jolland, you know we don't have that much coin.
Look, the East Empire Company didn't give me a choice. They've raised their prices again, and there's nothing I can do about it.
After all these years, they're gouging us for every last drake we have. Let me talk to Laeral. I'll see what we can do.
All right, Admiral. Don't worry about rushing. Just pay me when you can.
Right, let's look around. Let's see, blacksmith. That looks like the tavern around here. An apothecary. The merchants. If you ignore the aesthetics, looks pretty standard. And in case you haven't figured out the positions, that bloke you met. Let's talk to someone who isn't.
You there. You don't seem to be in quite the same state as the others. Very interesting. May I ask what it is you're doing here? Mirek. It sounds familiar, and yet I can't quite... Oh, wait, I recall. That makes very little sense. Mirek's been dead for thousands of years. I'm not sure, but it is fascinating, isn't it? Perhaps it has some relation to what's going on here. Quite unexpected. I'm afraid I can't give you any answers, but there are ruins of an ancient temple of Mirax toward the center of the island. If I were you, I'd look there. Red Mountain dominates the island. Every now and then, ash and debris from an eruption land on our shores. Building something, clearly. and yet they don't seem to have much to say about it. I'm very interested to find out what happens when they finish. Certainly not. Doing so would interfere with whatever is going on, and I would be unable to see how this all turns out. Are we done? I thought so.
Here do we toil.
That volcano must be the Red Mountain. What triggered the mass exodus of the Dunmer from Morrowind, which is why they're here. Well, some of them.
Just remember who's in charge around here.
Don't worry, you do. It is unwise to provoke them. As for the titles, Councillor, that's roughly analogous to a Jarl. Second Councillor, the Steward. Well, that's roughly the hierarchy. Looks like someone's in trouble. Yeah! Give them Ice Spear! Ah, one of the guards is in trouble. Well, we can ask him once they're dead. As they seem to be... Usually shouts that isn't exclusively... Forget it. Just talk to him. So they've been... sent by someone. That guard needs to know about this.
Thanks. I wasn't sure I'd make it off this farm alive. I wish I could have said the same for my man here. Some of the Redoran Guard have taken to calling them Ashspawn. Me, I don't care what they're called. All I know is they're a danger to Raven Rock and they need to be stopped. I was going to search for clues that might lead me to wherever they're coming from. I know it isn't the best place to start, but we know they've been coming from this direction. Good. I can use all the help I can get. Besides, I don't feel comfortable leaving Raven Rock behind, and I'd hate to lose any more Redoran Guard. We were searching the farm when the Ashspawn ambushed us. Have a look around and see if you can turn up anything useful. I might know someone, or maybe not. I can't remember. I can't. I just can't be sure. I think maybe he had something to do with a temple. A temple here on the island. Does that help? I don't. All I know is that the Ashspawn are coming from this direction, so this is as good a place to start as anywhere else. Good thing the farm's been abandoned for a long time. I'd hate to see what they would do to an unarmed farmer and his family. Not sure. I was told it was an old Imperial farm that was wiped out by the eruption of the Red Mountain. Not certain who lived there. It was already a pile of rubble when I arrived in Raven Rock. No one knows, really. Superstitious folks say they're the risen forms of those that died long ago. But I'm not so certain. They started attacking the bulwark a few weeks ago. My men were able to kill them, but they keep coming back.